Anyway, with man, I want to turn that off. I don't know. Chris Jenkins, and we're out here at Silver Lake. He's smoking, choking me out with smoke.
Yeah, put it out.
You're fired.
Been fired a few times today already.
First time fishing with him. We're up here at Silver Lake, my lake I normally fish, and of course I've lost my touch. I should have got out here earlier today and whatever, but anyway, we're gonna do an interview. This guy here, from the time he started catfishing to the time he started fishing tournaments, I think is a record in itself. But
very quickly it moved.
Are you married or?
I'm married. I've been with my wife for 8 years. We have one child. He's 5. His name's Riley, little boy. We have another on the way. Just found that out a couple weeks ago. Really excited about that. Never really ready for it, but when it happens, you just gotta be. But yeah, I just started last August. I found out that there was such a thing as a catfish tournament, and I contacted Paul, and Paul put me in touch with Mr. Lyle Stokes. Mr. Lyle Stokes put me in touch with Alex Nady. A month later,
partridge and a pear tree.
A month later, I had a boat, made my first trip out to the river, stuck a 70 plus, and a couple weeks after that, fished my first tournament. A couple weeks after that, went to Monsters on the Ohio, my second tournament ever, and it's just been steady snowballing. Best decision I ever made in my life is, you know, chase that dream. We all got to have a dream, and mine is to fish. It's what I've always wanted to do. It's what I've always been good at, and there really ain't too much else in this world I love to do. So
I think you kind of started off like everybody else did, you know, just catching table fare because you had to, and that's where I come from.
Yeah,
so.
That's exactly it. I got good at it because I had to. There was times when we first got together, me and my wife, and my son was little, and we didn't have the means, and there was days that if I didn't go catch fish, my kid wouldn't eat, and it was that simple. And I got good at it, and I've always loved to catfish. I don't like to fish for bass. I do crappie occasionally. My passion since I was about 10 has always been catfish, and even the past couple years, I don't go out to fish for numbers. I don't use stick bait or nothing like that. I may fish all night, only catch 2 fish, but guarantee one of them is going to be 15 pounds is normally the way it ends out. I'd rather sit there all night for that one big fish than pulling 100 little ones. And so that's why the tournaments appealed to me. To me, there ain't no better way to learn than to go talk to these guys who consistently go anywhere in the country and pull out big fish. And everybody has been very welcoming. I feel already as if I'm part of a community. Guys I've never met in person made sure I had bait for this last tournament at Sioux Passage. Life got the best of me, and I didn't have time to go catch bait, and he said, tell you what, meet me 3 o'clock. I got plenty of shad for you. Had never met the man before in my life. People I've met once. There's a guy, Troy Hansen. He's been there consistently. If I ever have a question, he'll take his time and he'll answer it to the best of his ability, and he always makes the time to do that, and I appreciate it. If it wasn't for guys like that sharing the information with me, then I wouldn't have had the experience I have. I caught a fish of a lifetime my first trip out, and if it
How big was it?
I didn't have a scale that went over 50, but he bottomed it out pretty good, and everybody who knows anything I've showed it to when it would go at least 70. I'm not going to say any more than that for sure because I didn't have a scale. But if it wasn't for guys out there making videos and sharing this information, I would have never put that fish in the boat. And
much less turn it loose, in which you
right
did.
And that's another thing. I had no idea about breeding stock. You know, coming up, if you caught something, we ate it. You know, 25-pound flathead, whatever it was, you know, that, oh, we're eating good tonight. And if I hadn't let that fish go, knowing what I know now, I would have never been able to live with that. That would have bothered me till the day I died. To take a fish that size out of the river means you're not just taking that fish, you're taking all of its offspring. And if a fish got to be that size, you got to think that it's in its genetics and that its offspring have that potential. So you're not only just taking that one fish out, you're taking future generations. And,
Right.
And before I got involved in the tournament part of it, I didn't know what CPR was. And looking back, there's a couple fish that I'm even though I didn't know no better, I'm kicking myself in the butt for not letting go. But if you don't know, you don't know. And that's one thing good.
Hang on a minute. I want to pick on you for a second while I'm thinking about it. Look, he brought worms. You see that? Worms.
Hey, I'd rather catch a couple bullheads than nothing.
You got worms.
But you know, it's been a hell of a ride for me. It's only been 6 months, I think, I'm into it. I've fished 3 tournaments, and you know, I've fished the Missouri, the Mississippi, the Ohio. I had a blast in Owensboro. We placed 99 out of 186, and that was our second tournament ever. We only had 1 fish. It weighed 8.8 pounds. But the whole thing for me of going out there, that's the goal I set for myself. I didn't go out there thinking I was going to win. All I wanted was that 1 fish at the weigh-in so my little boy could see that in front of all them people. And I got my wish, you know. That's something a 5-year-old kid ain't going to soon forget. And hopefully he'll follow suit. He's not big into fishing now because he's a little behind. He's on delay. He has autism. But he loves to go catch bait with me. I come home with a couple hundred baby shad the other night, and he climbed in the back of the truck barehanded and was just helping me bag them up and all that. He gets real excited when there's actually fish there. So I'm hoping maybe when the white bass run and they're you know, fast paced, easy to catch, maybe.
And they don't forget them great big fish either.
No,
they remember that.
But that's all I wanted from Monsters on the Ohio. Is I wanted my little one to see me up there in front of all those people holding up a fish, and maybe next year it'll be a bigger one, hopefully. But at this point,
what are your goals over the next year or so?
The next year, I set small goals so I ain't disappointed. I just need to learn the river. I'm not used to fishing the river, and up until August I had never caught a blue cat in my life. I mean, that first trip out was quite a learning experience. I just want to get better at locating the fish.
I think something that you might want to, since you're hitting the river like you are and whatnot, I think it'd probably be wise if you read all you can from the United States Coast Guard and proper etiquette, and because there are some of them tugboat drivers that they won't budge.
You know, that is something I definitely need to look into, and I don't recommend doing this by any means, but I'm hard-headed, and the only way I learned to do something is by just doing it. I bought that boat. I had never operated a boat before. I had never fished a river, and I went up to Alton and I launched it. I locked through that day, and I found out the hard way what a wing dike was. And had I been going any faster, I would not be sitting here having this conversation with you. If this is something you want to do, go out there and learn boat safety. You know, go out on a small little lake and learn to do, you know, make sure you know what you're doing before you go out there, because bad stuff happens out there and it happens quick. I've been in half a dozen sketchy situations on that river. It is nothing to play with. If this is something you'd like to do, like you just said, you know, learn that Coast Guard stuff.
It'll reach up and grab you.
Yep.
It was 2 young men lost their lives out here on Silver Lake because they thought they knew the lake better, and they got up and on them stumps up there, and neither one of them got out alive. So
split second will cost you your whole life.
Yep.
And like I said, I didn't know.
It doesn't just affect you; it affects your kids, it affects your wife,
your whole family, your friends. They have to deal with that loss because you made a bad decision.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's something definitely that I should have done more research into. You're out there messing with barges and current like the Missouri River has. I've been coming upstream, and the current off the tip of a wing dike took my 18-foot boat and spun me halfway around like I wasn't even there. It is not anything to mess with.
Yeah.
But
all right. Well, that sounds like that's it. Now like I said, we're out here on the lake, so we're going to attempt to try to catch some fish. We got the coffee made, going to warm up a little bit, and try to do something here.
Oh, we'll get on them.
Until next time.
All right.
If you ain't fishing, you ain't living.